Hey YouTubers, welcome back. We're going to now start our tool reviews, and this is a tool review demo, and this is how I'm going to redo all my tool reviews that I used to have up on YouTube. I'm going to actually show you the tool in action. Now, this thing has about 8 foot-pounds of torque apparently, when you convert inch-pounds to foot-pounds. Forward and reverse, 500 RPM, keyless chuck, and then of course you've got your different torque settings. Now I always leave mine in the drill mode, just because that's where I prefer it. Well, guess it's not going to go back to drill mode today. There are drawbacks to this gun, by the way. It has a really cheap built torque setting in here. Okay, this is what I've discovered since my first video on it. So it no longer clicks anymore. And so as such, there you go. I had to reset it. Now we're back in the drill mode. I leave it in drill mode because anything I'm going to do, it's going to have the full torque of the screw with the nut on it anyway, and 8 foot-pounds is not a lot anyway. But what we're going to do is I'm going to show you a test of how well this sucker can drive this 2.5-inch screw into wood. So hopefully we got the right camera angle on this. Okay, let's give her. No problems. That's a 2.5-inch wood screw. Went right in, hassle-free. So it does have a good amount of torque for 8 foot-pounds. It has this lithium 12-volt battery. You get 2 of them plus a charger. You get it on sale for about 90 bucks. And you know, even though it has this shitty ratcheting system, you can still use your torque settings. It doesn't interfere, even though the ratchet doesn't work anymore. And then of course 100%. But I've beaten this up. I've used it a lot. I wanted it for getting into small areas on cars that I couldn't get into with my big rigid X2 drill, because it's just too big and bulky. But this little puppy I got for Christmas, and it's been used a lot, and I've recharged the batteries several times because of needing to. It has a cool little work light up front as well that you can see. You can actually activate that before you hit the drill. Lock, and of course your reverse. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, there are some Mastercraft tools that really suck bad. This is one of them that actually, even though it's got a shitty little torque setting ratchet in there that screws up, it's a great little drill, and it just keeps going and going and going and going. I even tried to use it to start the lawnmower with it. You know, it wouldn't start the lawn tractor, but you know, it didn't have that much torque. But I mean, for driving nuts, drilling with it, 500 RPM is actually not a bad drill speed if you're using cutting fluid, and you can drill through steel and angle iron with it, which I do. You know, and because my rigid drill is actually too fast for drilling with steel, and this little 500 RPM jobby is just perfect for the job for drilling into steel with the use of cutting fluid. And I emphasize with the use of cutting fluid because if you overheat your drill bit, doesn't matter if it's cobalt, high-speed steel, titanium nitrate, if you don't use the cutting fluid, you will screw up your drill bit much, much faster. You know, and cobalt drills cost a lot more than regular cheap drills, but they're also a lot stronger, less flexible, so you need a more rigid drill for drilling with. Cobalt's actually the best way to go when it comes to steel anyway. High-speed steel is good for like aluminum, brass, bronze, and wood. Cobalt, titanium nitrate, those are your steel drilling bits, and pretty much any metal you use the cobalt stuff on, and the others are actually really good on other steels. I actually really like titanium nitrate when it comes to drilling into stainless steel. It does a very nice job. does a beautiful job on brass, and I run on brass and bronze. You run at a much higher speed than 500 RPM. But you know, if you need to drill into something like that, this is a good little drill for that, and it's not going to overspeed things too much. Like 600 RPM is too fast for drilling steel, unless you got really super high-end drill bits. But for home users, you're not going to have those drill bits, so you're going to have to make do unless you decide you want to spend the money. In which case you go to a machinist shop that sells machinist tooling, and that's where you're going to order your high-end stuff. But for around the home stuff, little projects, you don't need anything higher than a cobalt drill bit for steels and angle irons and stuff. And use the cutting fluid. It will keep your edge on your drill bit a lot longer. But as for this little gizmo guy, even if I had to pay retail, I'm pretty sure I'd probably pay the retail on it. But even at sale price at $90 is a lot better deal too, you know. And there are a lot of drills in this class. I'm going to do some reviews on actually another one that I have that's in a 12-volt series by Milwaukee. And I got a good deal on it in a kit. So, and we'll go through that one, and I'll show you how that one works out, and the saw that came with it, and so on. But for this one here, it's Mastercraft. It's not a bad little drill. She takes a hell of a beating. You know, it still keeps going. You know, and you know, I just hope you enjoyed the video. And 2.5-inch deck screw, that's a lot to ask from this drill. But it didn't seem to mind doing it, you know. And so if you are building a deck and you need a cheap drill, I'd take this over a Black & Decker any day of the week, because it's going to have a lot better torque. It's going to perform a lot better. You get good battery life out of this thing, which is another thing I should mention. The battery life per charge is actually very, very good on this drill. I did an awful lot of drill holes into some angle iron and lengthily, and putting a lot of pressure downward on it at the same time, which slowed it down a little bit because of drilling through the steel, the angle iron. And I still only had to go to my second battery once, and but I still drilled a lot of holes before I had to do that. So battery life on it is good. And you'll know when the battery is going to kick out on you, because you'll be in the middle of drilling and it'll just stop. And you pull the trigger again, it'll start up again, and you know, it'll stop. So it's like, it's had enough, it's time for a recharge. And it does not take very long. It's about half an hour or less to recharge the battery, which is actually really good recharge time. So, you know, not a bad little machine. 3-year warranty, I believe. 2-year or 3-year warranty on this thing. And, you know, so what more can you ask for that way? You know, really good deal. So hope you enjoyed the video. Hey, feel free to leave your comments, and you know, and make the comments about the videos. And that's one thing I'd like to emphasize this time on all my videos. Make it about the video. And, you know, good point, bad point. Hey, you've had some bad experience, that's okay. You know, I'll agree with you, because I've had bad experience with some Mastercraft stuff too, just never with their sockets and wrenches. So, you know, those are the bomb. But this little Mastercraft jobby, if I had to buy one again, I would. I definitely would. So, happy YouTubing, take care, and we'll see you on the next video. And I hope you enjoyed the little demo of the screw. That was actually kind of fun. So, there you go.